All right, the long-awaited Supra build is about to begin. We're trying really hard to do this build the air quotes right way, rather than just doing things in the non-chronological order. The first thing you do with the chassis, you strip it and you do the roll cage. And what we have here is a cage kit from Rob Parsons, aka Chair Slayer. If you guys aren't familiar with his kits already, they've been making waves in the drift community. They're basically the tightest fitting kit you can buy. They're intended to weld to the A-pillar and like touch the chassis in multiple spots, multiple chassis. But the best thing about them, and especially hearing this from Marco, who just installed one of these, what was it, an IS? Yeah. It is like a fabricator's dream because everything comes pre-notched, labeled, laser etched, marked. There's part numbers on everything, and there's zero modifications necessary. Is that true?
It's true, yeah.
Base plates are included. This is the A90 Supra cage. Literally any chassis you can imagine. He has like custom scans and has like this crazy. It's gangster. And if you want a like crazy, nice TIG welded cage, this will make your fabricator's life very, very, very easy. With that being said, I do have exciting news as well. We worked a deal out with Rob where we are going to be stocking these cage kits. For the most popular, most common chassis, we have a big PO that he's been producing, so that way if you go to order a kit, instead of having to wait for it to be made, it'll be on the shelf. Now our big purchase order isn't complete yet, but if you want to reach out to us at sales@drifthq.com, we can get you a great deal on a sick cage kit super fast.
So, I got myself a spot weld drill bit, which I've never used before, but they're pretty neat. Has a little compression thing. Basically what you do is you find your spot weld, center punch it pretty nice, try to get it as deep as possible, that way this tip can sit in it nice and well. And you basically just dig into it. Having a good amount of like cutting lube helps a bunch too, but you just dig into it, you work around it. And basically you just keep doing that until you get the depth correctly, and then it'll loosen up this panel and it'll basically just come right off. So I don't know if it's the quickest way to go about it, but it's definitely the cleanest way. You don't have to worry about like a cut-off wheel, like having like a residual cut somewhere else on the chassis that you wouldn't want. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It'll take a little bit of time, but I like it. It's clean, it's easy, it's simple.
Horn.
What is that for?
Purpose is this? I have no idea, but
That's some weird BMW.
yep. While Marco was doing some cage stuff prepping, and I decided to take the motor out and remove the subframe so we could go ahead and modify for the E90 rack and pinion. YFABS offers a kit that retrofits that steering rack on this car. So I'm gonna remove it, cut off these tabs, and then the kit comes with some tooling and fittings so that you can mount the rack and then get it all in position. You'll see it as we go along, how it goes together. It's pretty quick, simple from what I gather. Shouldn't be too much hassle, and it will make a E90 rack sit on there with no problem. For those of you that don't know, we are running YFAB on this A90 Supra. So I took off the front cross member out to get it ready for the E90 steering rack. So YFAB offers that kit that comes with everything you need to retrofit that steering rack into the A90 subframe. They give you a scale, so when you print it, you gotta make sure that it measures within 5 inches. You're using this location here to reference where to cut, And if it's off, you're gonna be offset one way or another. Set it on here, and then you mark the location. This is to clear the rack and pinion only on the left-hand drive cars. The right-hand drive cars, 890 rack and pinion is slightly different, so you don't have to clear that section. So I already have it all marked up. It has even, you know, reference to what they want you to do. So then you mark it, and you cut that. They said you could either leave it open, or you could put I think it's a 2.25 inch, 2.5 inch pipe there, and trim it, and then you weld it shut so it's capped. I'm gonna cap it just so the subframe doesn't get dirty or full of oil in there. If we have an oil leak, then it's just residual oil will fall in the subframe. The next step is to pretty much cut these ears off. So you're first gonna cut just where the purpose is, so that you could use the jig that they supply. You bolt everything up together to go like this, and that will give you the reference point. Then once these are tack welded, you could cut the remainder of the top ears out, and then you will have the new mounting point from the top, and then this will be the mounting point for the bottom. And then your rack will slide in like a normal BMW, and on this case, Supra. And that's it. You have an 890 rack in your 890 Supra.
Little update on the carbon fiber roof installation. Randy's been getting the body work done. It's almost complete. He's doing the final touches now. So this part of the car will be painted blue, and then he's gonna clear over everything so it'll look nice, blended, just like factory. You killed it, dude. It looks like it belongs.
It does. It looks like it belongs there. I think the roof was really on point too. I mean, we got to give it to him. The skin was definitely on point, but it's working out nice. Just waiting for it to actually soak a little bit, because we had some junction points where we added a little panel bond. So once we get these lines smoothened out, we'll be able to put some 2K back on it, some regular primer, and paint it up.
I'm stoked.
It's gonna look so nice with the roof and carbon.
Are we repainting this too?
Everything, the whole pillar
Sick.
has to be painted to the bottom, and then we're gonna paint it all the way to the back pillar here.
This one scratch here has always bothered me on this car.
Oh, we're definitely gonna take that one, and I think
This one scratch has just always bothered me on this thing. Yeah. Look, this wasn't from drifting.
What was that?
We were at Tequila Mary's, we had tacos, this girl dropped her keys, got into a in the long story. Well, as you can see, there's another fire, this time not in front of the compound, behind the compound. It looks like they're on top of it, but Mike, you probably know more than I do about the fire at this point.
Right now it's at like 2 acres, and they
2 acres.
contained it
Okay,
to what I know.
contained. That's
They were
good.
really quick with the water buckets this time, so I think we'll be fine. It's just very smoky.
There's so much ash that Randy can't paint because the paint filters keep on getting clogged. It's crazy.
Yeah, we didn't know the compound would come with this, did we?
No, that's a new thing. I didn't know the forest fires existed in Florida. Yet again, this is another one of those videos where I'm flying out early the next morning. I'm heading up to Myrtle Beach. I'll be at the Mustang Week for one day with the RTR boys, and then straight from there I go to Philly for Tuner Evo. Information and link will be in the description. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot more progress that's gonna be made while I'm gone on the concrete stuff, so I kind of wanted to show you guys an update. I don't know if this is exciting for you, but it's probably one of the most exciting things for me. It feels like I'm having a skate park built again, like that same excitement that I had when I was like, all of my enjoyment came from BMX riding. Now to be able to create something that will let me express myself automotively and how I choose, I would like to show you where we're at right now. I think we already showed this, but they've made really good progress, and like that's pretty much ready to be poured. I'm really excited because now we can come in down the straight and we'll have a huge area for like throwing backwards entries here. I'm trying to get the AC unit relocated to the side of the building, which would open up some space there. But yeah, I'm wondering if I should have like a tire wall. I've been looking into like plastic go-kart style barriers that we can move around so we can like create different layouts and stuff. A lot of the dirt that they've been excavating I had added here because I see a high likelihood of us coming out of this corner probably with like go-karts, and then dropping a tire over here. So at least dirt here will make it less sketchy, and I imagine we'll probably end up adding concrete in the future. Back here, they're gonna fill that in. And then in the back of the house, I don't know if I ever confirmed it in video, but there's gonna be a banked corner that goes around the house. This is gonna be the most complicated part because there's a lot of clearing that needs to be done to make this like a proper radius. And then also this is a pretty big flood area back here. So there's gonna actually need to be like proper drainage where the other stuff around the compound, they're grading to kind of match where the water's already designed to run. Because there's not a driveway back here, it doesn't really make sense. But yo, look, my front door is behind my house and we've never used it because why would you go to the backyard to use the front door?
Yeah, it's weird design flaws.
I'm just picturing like, in addition to like cool photos like drifting here, like when visitors come and park, this can be like a very beautiful area. Like you're parked kind of on a bank. You can take a cool photo, you know, make a TikTok, whatever the kids are doing these days. This is framed up over here to just kind of widen this out to give you more room for when you enter the banked corner because you're going to be moving. But I predict we'll probably need to modify or add more to this side for round 2. This area over here is widening up beautifully. Now we'll be able to stack like multiple cars around this corner. It's probably even doable to link this as one big corner now.
Yeah.
Again, I think there's gonna be a V2 where we're gonna find all these new areas where we end up dropping tires now that we're gonna figure out different layouts. So like my target is this will be done in like 2 weeks or so. And then by the time everyone's in town for the Invitational, I wanna have V2 completed with any additional concrete. This area is gonna be really cool. I don't know, again, I can't remember what I've said and didn't say. It's not finalized, they're gonna make some adjustments, but out here in the middle point, this will have about a 10% slope. So it's gonna resemble maybe somewhere in between Luke's track at Archer Field and Nico. So you'll be able to come through here, pitch your car in there, pick up a wheel, and then shoot across to the other side. I'm leaving one little grass patch because I wanna put like one of those naked fountain statues there, just because I think that'd be really cool. And then this will be widened up with this little area in here. And then, yeah, this will be sweet. It'll like grade out here. This area is gonna get modified a little bit, but it'll be flat and then it'll pitch down. So you could technically like drive over it if you wanted to, but it should flow. So you can hit it in either direction and it's gonna widen up this corner. This is ignorant, it's a big skid pad. This is gonna be cool because it's gonna widen up straight things. This is something that I'm like kind of excited for because I don't know how we're gonna use it, but this naturally has some grade to it too. Like I imagine go-karts or a car will go on this and it'll kind of feel like you're like in a little jump area. But I guess you could like drop your tires in here, and then once we have the barriers, you could like make a layout that goes around there. There's a lot of options. And then over on the other side, I guess I can show some of that. This section, bye-bye. And this was the area that destroyed all the go-karts. It had like a big bump in the middle, so this is all grinded up and this is gonna be fixed along with new curbing around the pond. So that's pretty exciting.
Very nice. No, Adam.
Dang, look at that thing. Cool cars always be popping up at the compound. It's just like a thing. And then this is a pretty cool little trick area. Just widen up the exterior here. I feel like I should maybe move that power box, but I guess I can do that after the fact.
Yeah.
So this seems like this needs to push back farther. But anyway, this kind of widens up the track width, and then over here, now we've got all this runoff. So like in the go-karts, if you want to be faster, you would go drive through the grass here. But this should like widen it up dramatically. I'm really excited. This is, drawing it on paper was cool. Pause for the fire helicopters. But seeing it in real life is like breathtaking. And it's like inspiring me to give this place more of a vibe. Like I want to create signs and banners that kind of give the place a certain type of ambiance and like paint things. And I feel like the compound is gonna, at the end of this year, no longer feel like another dude's creation that I'm living on, but it's gonna feel like my own creation. So I'm really excited for that. And if this is boring, I'm sorry, but I'm excited and I just want to take you along the journey of the progress because these dudes are awesome. They're killing it. They're super cool. They're super nice. They're super fast. I'm really excited to see the finished product, and I hope you are too. And ultimately, it's a great way to stay in shape. Might cut the clip. I had some really important information I was gonna say, but I was gonna. Oh, I remembered what. I keep forgetting what video we're supposed to film. You know, the bread car that we haven't filmed. It'll when I get back home. I'll do. We'll make it. I'll figure it out.
He has too many of these
All
cars
right, and
that he's.